Dolphins. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards on the gain. A great start for this offense.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was he?
Nothing fancy at all. Challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. This one complete to Jalen Waddle. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. The Dolphins had 2-12 in what has been a tough year. And whatever promise they had to start the season fully evaporated now as they come in losers of 6 straight.
Well, you know what they often say, winning breeds winning, but unfortunately, that can be true as well, because this is a club in desperate need of a spark out of somewhere. A big play on offense, turnover, takeaway on defense, something to get them pointed in the right direction. They need it quickly.
On third down, McLaughlin. And he fires one that's intercepted. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ball game.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
Touchdown! Calvin Austin. 27 yards. And the Broncos take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. McManus's point after is good. And that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Fielded right around the 8. And he returns this to the 22. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he'll get this just across the 25-yard line. This defense for the Broncos, they were terrific last week in the victory over Kansas City.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Back to throw. McLaughlin. Got a man complete to Cedric Wilson. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. The full start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now a give right side. It's Cummings. And he'll get this to about the 34, a gain of just 3.
Well, obviously they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead now, they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. To throw on 2nd down. McLaughlin buying time to his left. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big 3rd down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Well, they've moved the ball okay here in these first 2 drives, but this one's going to, again, amount to nothing. They've got to start dialing up some plays that allow them to finish drives with points.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now. K.J. Hamler deep for the Broncos. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Taken in at the 22. Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. As we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had, as Sanders has it poked free.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home, the next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Weston. And that one going to be off target and incomplete. Eric Ebron, the big tight end, his intended target. And it's 3rd down. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
Off play action. Weston steps away to his left. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. The Broncos send out their punter now. Back deep is Tyreek Hill. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. 34 yards on the return, but for a moment looked like he had a shot to go all the way. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. And he'll take this ahead for about 4, 2nd down coming up.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back there and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
To throw on 2nd down, McLaughlin. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. And the Broncos are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line.
A tough adjustment to the NFL throughout his rookie season, and his problem with turnovers is only exacerbated by his early showing today. That's a couple for him here in this first half, and he's cleared the double-digit mark for the entire season.
He'll get it up near midfield to the 49 before being taken down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Throwing on 1st down. Weston sliding out of the pocket. Across the formation, he hits Austin. And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. On the counter now, it's Sanders. And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great. Because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
And that's a touchdown, but hold on. There is a flag down on the field. We'll have to see what this is about. So erase the red zone score. They'll have to dial that one up again.
And you know how difficult it is to strike in the red zone because things are a little bit more condensed. You got to go back to their play chart and see if they can dial up another one.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Dolphins force the turnover. They'll take over at the 10.
Well, it's not the first time we've seen him give one up here during his rookie season. And in this case, zone coverage forced the mistake. He's made some strides week to week in how he's handling the different type of coverages that he's seeing. But clearly, there's some growing still to do.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Nice chunk of yards on 1st down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. McLaughlin. And he's dropped just shy of the 25 at the 24. First catch there for Hill, and he's got a 1st down. Off the play fake. McLaughlin. Tyreek Hill's got another one. The 30. 10. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. So a nice touchdown pass for the rookie there. And, you know, as they go down the stretch, look, they're not a playoff team. This is just confidence building and growth time for him, right?
Yeah, it's a game within the game, isn't it? Because every team wants to win all games on their schedule. But the development of this rookie quarterback is paramount for this team. So you're exactly right. Every rep, doesn't matter what the game, what the situation, what the score, valuable for him, valuable for his team as they look towards next year.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Off play action, Weston. And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A gain there of 21 yards. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory right at the 40. Looking to throw, Weston. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, now another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're saying.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. And he's got another 1st down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 14. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Up the middle they go with Sanders. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Miles Sanders, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos have taken the lead. And that is off the left upright. It's no good. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Off the play fake. McLaughlin. Open man is Waddle, complete. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. So pass interference, the call is so tough as a defender, I'd imagine, to time that up perfectly.
It certainly is difficult to get it exactly right because sometimes you're looking at getting there fractions of seconds too early. That one looked a little more obvious. Always a tough penalty to officiate. Just ask the basketball refs when they have to officiate block and charge.
And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
To throw on 2nd down, McLaughlin. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Caleb Farley. And the Broncos are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
And it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. But that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
19 yards that time for number 19. So in the 2nd quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
That one into the hands of Shepard downfield. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Sterling Shepard, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead now stands at 13. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. Well, not much time remains here in this first half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use it down by 2 scores. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Looking to throw on 2nd down. McLaughlin. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Oh, I thought he had that one, and that was nearly a big 3rd down conversion to give this drive some life. Instead, they're on the spot and help separate the receiver from the ball.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And returning it, here's Hamler. So we've reached halftime here. Let's throw in a broadcaster cliche, shall we? Both teams looking for a gift on Christmas Eve. As we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner,
yeah, they went into the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
Solid gain of 18 yards and a Denver first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Byron Jones in there to make the tackle. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Back to throw. Weston. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. And now off to the races, down the right side. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. So that potentially a turning point here this 3rd quarter. A 2-score lead down to 1 now following the pick 6.
And that had to be the message at halftime for this defense, delivered and accepted. We need to go out there and make something happen.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead will shrink to 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Throwing after the interception, Weston. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Javon Holland. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. You can just see the frustration on the sideline. Safe to say that's not how they expected this series to go. The ball only went one way, and it was backward into their own end zone, courtesy of the pick 6.
And, Brandon, how often do we hear offenses take before a game that want to end every series with a kick, right? Punt, PAT, or field goal. In case of the defense, they want to end with a punt or a takeaway. And we saw the takeaway right there, and it turned out to be a takeaway that turned into 6 points.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. He's got him in, complete. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Calvin Austin with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Broncos have retaken a third-quarter lead. And he will find the end zone here, and the lead moves up to 7. And the formula there on the 2-point try to go 5 wide. Not even the option to hand the ball off. They got it.
They tried to create space, and there isn't a whole lot of it there. For the defense, what you're trying to do is make sure that someone, if they're going to catch the ball, make them catch it behind you because they run out of space with the back line. But in this case, the offense figured it out.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
To throw on second down. McLaughlin, throw left side, taken in by Hill. That'll put him at 95 receiving yards now as he's got a first down. He'll get it once more into the hands of Hill. So he stopped for no gain, and that'll make it second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Back to throw now on second and 10.
Partner just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
On third down, Cummings. Oh, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape, and that is not going to get it done. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. The offense running out, and they are charged up and ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
Now this throw caught left side.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Off play action. Weston. That's complete. It's Greg Dulcich. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. We're off to the 4th quarter here on Christmas Eve. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Sanders here as they run out of the gun. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Operating from the gun. Weston. Austin brings in the quick throw. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
He'll get this one to Patrick. Touchdown, Broncos! They have to love seeing that from their young quarterback here in the fourth quarter, able to further that lead with a touchdown pass.
He didn't go turtle, did he? And you know what I mean by that. I had an old coach used to say all the time, hey, when we have a lead late, don't just tuck in and try and ride it out. Go out and play and extend the lead. And that's what he did.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Takes it at the 7. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. First and 10. They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up first and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Cummings. He's got it to the 43 here.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And they're going to get this down to about the 37. This offense so far on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
They'll try and run for it. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. So still over 3 minutes remaining in this game, but boy, not getting that when that hurt.
That's a little bit demoralizing, so they have to be careful about that because still have an opportunity if they can get some things done on defense. But now, since they've taken over on downs, a team with the ball, guess what? Going to 4-minute offense.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Broncos are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. So now a fresh set of downs. First and 10 after roughing the passer. Shotgun snap and then the give to Sanders. And he stopped immediately there. Emmanuel Ogbah there on the stop. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage. Use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. And he finds his target, Ebron. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A first down and then some. Give him 29 yards. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on third down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Emmanuel Ogbah. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop it. Off the play fake. Weston. That's caught. It's Austin left side. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Calvin Austin, 30 yards. And the Broncos are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this fourth quarter lead. McManus's point after is good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Following the incomplete pass, here they go again, 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now a pass that's taken in by Hill, and they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Dolphin first down. Operating from the gun, McLaughlin, and his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Caden Stearns, and the Broncos are going to take over here up near the 40. Good starting position for the Broncos here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Sometimes that's the danger of putting that jumbo set out there. You just get a lot of bodies massed in one location. You could wind up with 18, 20, maybe even all 22 in the box, and there's nowhere to run the football.
Finding the open man, and that's Tim Patrick. Only able to gain a couple there, and that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Broncos, a win will come too late to save a losing season, but they do move to 6-9 on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Detroit Lions.